What's up, everybody? This video may be shocking to many of you, but I want to explain why I went back to eating meat. Basically, there's two reasons. The first reason is I was the only vegetarian that I knew, and the second reason is I was eating a terrible version of a vegetarian diet. So basically what sparked me to want to go vegetarian in the first place was I read the liner notes of the Goldfinger album, Open Your Eyes. Awesome album, check it out. And the liner notes are all about just factory farming and how terrible it is for the animals, and it just made me feel sick. I actually went out later that night. I tried to put it out of my mind because it was just too mind-blowing. Tried to put it out of my mind, went out to dinner, forgot about it, ordered a steak. As soon as the steak came out and was served in front of me, I just remembered everything that I had read, and I physically felt sick. Physically, I could not eat that steak. It just had it wasn't food for me anymore. And for a long time, meat just didn't appeal as food to me anymore. So I was sort of by default vegetarian, and I didn't know any other vegetarians. I started eating more and more cheese and eggs and things that I thought would give me protein. I hadn't quite made the connection about how the dairy industry is terrible as well, and the egg industry too. So I was eating lots of dairy products, lots of cheese. I actually ended up gaining weight because I was just eating, dairy products are so high in fat and they're so addictive. How many people have you heard say, oh, I'd go vegan, but I just could never give up cheese? So I was eating all this stuff, and I was eating a lot of junk, and I had people telling me that I was gaining weight because I was eating too many carbohydrates, because I like to eat potato chips, and potato chips are not even a high carbohydrate food, they're a high fat food. So I stopped eating too many potatoes, and yeah, so I was just a mess. I was gaining weight. I was the only person that I knew, so I was always sort of the odd one out whenever I was hanging out with my friends. I would always have to order different food. I couldn't share food with people, and I started to just feel isolated, and I started to, I wanted to eat like I used to eat. I wanted to enjoy food as I used to enjoy it, and I was unhappy with myself. And I remember the first time that I ate meat after being vegetarian was I was outside at like a local youth drop-in center, skate park kind of deal, and there was a Mr. Sub, and I just ordered the assorted sub with like all the cold cut meat on it, just like I used to have. And I remember having the sandwich in my hands, and just the thoughts were coming into my head. The thoughts were trying to come in saying, oh, this is so bad, like these animals are treated so terribly, like this meat is disgusting. And I was just blocking that out, trying to think, don't think about that, the sandwich is gonna be delicious, and I'm gonna get to eat like I used to eat. And I remember just shutting all that out and then taking a bite, and then I just tried to never think about it again. And so this was when I was probably about 14 years old, maybe 13 years old, and yeah, I had been vegetarian for almost a year before that, leading up to that point. And then after this, I continued to eat meat all throughout high school and throughout the first couple of years of university. And then second year university came around. I kept getting strep throat, did some research online, tried to figure out how I could stop getting strep throat, and found out how terrible dairy is for you, especially for your throat, ears, and nose. Then it all came back. I remembered about everything that I had read before, and my feelings really hadn't changed about animal agriculture and eating meat and all this stuff. It had just been repressed. It had been shut out of my mind so that I could just be a normal person again. And but this time it came back, and I said I was mature enough to just kind of think that, you know what, this is the most responsible decision for my health. It's the most logical decision from an ethical point of view to just stop eating all these animal products, because they're terrible for my health, they're terrible for the animals. And at this point I hadn't learned about how terrible they are for the environment, but a few years down the road I learned about that as well. And now I'm in a place where I've been vegan for 7 years. That was about 7 years ago, and I know plenty of vegans. I have tons of vegan friends. I still have some non-vegan friends as well, but I'm so grounded in the reasons that I'm eating this diet, and now I'm eating a much healthier diet, so I feel so much better about myself. I feel like I'm a good example for veganism. You know, people look at me and they see a healthy person, they see somebody who's out, you know, winning triathlons and, you know, eating tons and tons and tons of delicious food, and I feel good about myself. I feel good about myself because of my ethical choices. I feel good, just feel good straight up, because I'm healthy and I'm well nourished and I'm not eating products that are detrimental to my health, and it's a huge change. So I've learned a lot from that experience of going back to eating meat, and one of the reasons that I make the videos that I make here on YouTube, probably the main reason I make these videos, is just so that I can help people out who are looking to go vegetarian or vegan. Maybe they're bridging that gap with vegetarian first, but I want to make people comfortable and I want to help people make good decisions so that they can maintain sustainable, healthy, ethical lifestyle. So hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you're looking for any kind of help or guidance, send me a message and we can set up a Skype call or something like that, and I can help you out with any issues you may be having with your with transitioning to a vegan lifestyle or sustaining a vegan lifestyle. So thanks for watching, guys. Questions and comments down below, and I'll see you next video. Take it easy.